Hope you're okay. I think we're all on. I think it's working. You'd think I haven't done this before. I've been away for a month. We haven't had much practice, but hope you're all out there okay. Hope you can hear me and see me, and hope you're all safe. And here we are back in yet another lockdown. But we've got another great webinar for you. Sussex Wildlife Trust been doing this whole series of webinars through the end of last year. We've got plenty in January and plenty coming up throughout the coming months. But now, usually we do these on our own, but these Nature Table Lives, for those of you who haven't seen them before, I'm hopefully joined by a few colleagues. Now, Charlotte, are you out there tonight? There she is. Hello, Charlotte. How are you? All right? There we are.
Yeah, I'm all right, thanks. Yeah,
good. I'm just trying to work out what to press. You'd think I'm total amateur at this now. There we go. There we are. And what about James? Are you out there?
I'm here, Michael.
That's good. I always get very scared when you don't talk, James. I always think you're not going to appear. But
well, there's a delay when you press.
There's a delay. All right, it's a long way. You're way over there in front of Brighton Pier. It's a long way away. And hopefully we have Dr. Barry Yates. Barry.
Hello, Michael.
Hi, Barry. Hi. Good. It was good to see you. Good to be back. It's not so good to be back in a lockdown, but yeah, we're back. Anyway, it is what it is, as you say, Charlotte. So anyway, this evening we're going to we've got plenty to talk about tonight, so we'll whiz through. We've got a packed agenda. We've a few special guests coming on as well. But right, so here we go. Episode 8, the first one in 2021. So how is everyone? How was everyone's Christmas? All right, did you have a nice break, folks?
Yeah, lovely.
All right, good. Well, we've actually this is an interactive part of the show. If I can, now if I go up here, you can actually here we are. So if I launch this, hopefully I can ask you at home how your Christmas was. I launched that. And can people see? I think you can vote on that. So the question is, how was your COVID Christmas? There's a few options there. Hopefully you had a good safe Christmas. Some people thought it was a bit boring, it seems, but yeah, it was okay. I had quite a nice break, to be honest. It was quite relaxing. It was quite nice to have a lack of options and alternatives. I just sat in front of the TV, but I didn't manage to get out. I got out. I'll tell you about what we saw later on. But most people, it seems, I can end the poll. Look, here we are. I remember how to do this now. It's all coming back to me. Now. There we are. Share results. There we are. So most people had a nice, quiet Christmas. That's good to know. Some people thought it was a bit boring, and some people even had a lot of mince pies and sherry. I have still got some turkey in the fridge. And 7 people thought it was a good excuse not to see their mother-in-law. So that's good to know. Now, it's very dark here. I've changed. For big fans of this show, you may notice I've changed everything around. I'm actually stuck behind the sofa now, but it's surprisingly dark. So I'm sort of, here we are. That's better. Here we are. And also, for those of you who haven't joined us before, there's a Q&A function. You can actually you can ask questions and we won't answer them. It's great. You can put them down there. If I have time, I may have a look and see what people are saying. But what we tend to do is answer them on the following program. So feel free to put your questions and comments down there, and we'll feel free, folks, to ignore them. But if there's time, I'll have a look as we go along. Now, I just thought I'd ask because hopefully Santa Claus was kind to you all and bought you some nice gifts. I have to say a quick thank you because Beth, a big fan of the Nature Table Live show, she sent this lovely Nature Nerd t-shirts. Barry's wearing his with pride.
Well, I'm Barry.
You got yours, James? Yeah.
I have. Thank you, Beth.
You get yours, Charlotte?
No.
A bit awkward, yeah. But okay, perhaps maybe it's lost in the post somewhere, Charlotte. It's probably on the way.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So you didn't get your Nature Nerd t-shirt, Charlotte, but what was your any nice nature-related gifts you had?
I did. I mean, we did a pared down Christmas this year, and we didn't go mad with the gifts. But one thing I did get after watching Rory's brilliant talk was his book about how to create a dragonfly friendly garden. I've just moved house and there's absolutely nothing in the garden, complete blank slate. So obviously there'll be at least one pond eventually. So I think that'll be a really handy thing to look at.
Very important, of course, ponds for garden wildlife, Charlotte. You know that, right? The most important thing in the garden. You saw Rory's talk. It was great, wasn't it? End of
It was
last year.
fantastic. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
such a good talk. Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
people-
I was already a fan of dragonflies, but he was so enthusiastic.
It
wasn't
was, wasn't it? That was fantastic. It was a great way to end the year. Well, we must get him back. That was just do the same talk again. I thought it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. What about you, Barry? You got any nice presents for Christmas?
I got the ever-present socks to keep my feet warm on the one winter day we've had so far this year. Yeah, I wear my socks out pretty quick, so every Christmas I get a couple of pairs. Keeps me topped up.
I think those over at Rye, but it's a bit cold over there with the wind over there.
Yeah, well, that one frosty day was fantastic. Was that 5 days ago?
Yeah, it was Sunday or so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really lovely. A nice taste of winter. But that might be.
I got some nice. We got some nice photos of that later on, actually. Yeah. What about you, James? What do you get for Christmas?
Well, having read Erica's first book, The Secret Life of Flies, I actually got this one, the Inside Out of Flies. Hopefully everybody can see that. I know the picture's going a bit strange, which is proving to be a fabulous book. So yeah, enjoying that a lot. And I also got I got What a Fish Knows. So very soon I'm going to know what a fish knows.
Okay.
There we go. Well, you can't go wrong there, can you? Can't go wrong.
You also told me, James, you got a load of camping equipment, which is why I put a slide up of camping equipment.
Sorry, Michael.
You
Yeah,
didn't tell me you changed your. Stick to
I
this.
did.
We got a script here. We have a
Yeah.
script. We realise that we got a script.
I did. Do you know what? I decided that I didn't actually want to have to get all the camping gear out again. So that's why I opted not to do it. Sorry.
But you can't go anywhere, so it's of no use anyway. You're gonna.
Well, I know, but I'm dreaming of different times. As soon as the
Aren't we
lockdown,
all? Yeah.
I'll be out in my bivvy bag,
All right.
enjoying nature.
So my best present is this here. Look, now I have it. I'll put it in front of my camera. You just see that little. It's all wrapped up, very nice. This is from my friend Nikki. So thank you, Nikki. It's a little bit. I didn't know what it was. It came with this. It came with this book about fossils, a little fossil hunting guide. So I was assuming it's some sort of fossil, but I went through the book, couldn't find it. It turns out actually it is. It's fossilized poo. It's coprolite, fossilized poo. And so I was really excited about that. And it actually, I don't know, any idea where it comes from, Charlotte? You exporting fossilized poo, are you?
Oh, not really. I mean, I was going to hazard a guess that was fossilized poo, but I couldn't tell you whose fossilized poo it is.
Well, it's actually, I thought maybe it's like some T-Rex poo or something. Actually, it comes from ichthyosaur. Fossilized. I was thrilled with that. I mean, I actually got a little graphic here just to imagine 195 million years ago, the ichthyosaur doing a poo out there, and then here it is in my hand. There it is. Look, fantastic. Actually, quite thrilled with. Doesn't smell of anything. It doesn't smell. I thought it may smell of fish still, but.
Michael,
thank you, Nikki, for my fossilized poo. There's more poo-based hijinks later on in tonight's show. So.
Can I just say, Michael, I helped to excavate an ichthyosaur actually in Queensland, in Australia.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know this story.
Yeah, I worked at a museum in Richmond, in Queensland. Well, I did some volunteering there, and helped to excavate this. I'm trying to think what its name was. Platypterygius longmani, I think it was.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, it was superb. Really enjoyable, actually.
Was there any fossilized poo there next to it, or?
Oh, there may well have been. Yeah, there may well have been.
was.
Who knows? Can't remember. Yeah. Could have been. I should have recognised it, shouldn't I? Really?
We should have an ichthyosaur special, perhaps next time. But
Maybe.
yeah, that's the whole ichthyosaur only. Anyway, so I'm glad to see you all got some nice gifts. Now, for those of you who haven't seen the Nature Table live, it's based on the Nature Table Facebook page, so you're welcome to join the Facebook page. Send in your photos and sightings. And what I do every month, I trawl through the page and I take out some of the pictures and reports from you and. I thought we'd just go through a few now. So, of course, the problem is we're all in lockdown, so no one's really travelling around seeing anything too exciting. But saying that, there's plenty to see, of course, on your local daily walks or in your garden. Here's a lovely photo, I thought. Look at this from Karen. Great picture of a robin there. Looks like Godzilla or something. But amazing. So, and John Evans, another picture of his bird feeder there. He said lunchtime, he says, and then war breaks out. Look at this. There's a great photo of 2 goldfinches fighting at the seed feeder. This time of year, of course, it's getting cold. Plenty of birds in the garden. If you're feeding the birds, it's non-stop entertainment. I sit here. I try to work at my new desk by the window. I'm always being distracted out there by stuff going on in the garden. A photo of a coal tit by John Webber. Now, I love coal tits. To me, it's a little treat. When the coal tit comes in my garden, it's always a little bit of a treat for me when it pops in there. So always lovely to see. A delightful bird, says John. And look at this. It's Graham's photo.
Awesome.
A mob of long-tailed tits at the feeder there, as Graham says, showing no signs of social distancing. There's about 12 there. How amazing. That's amazing. What a great picture. It isn't just birds, of course. John Evans says he had foxes in his garden and birds, but who needs to go out, he says. There's a deer coming in his garden on the 10th of January there. And this picture, I love this picture. Isn't this great? This picture from Emma on a daily walk at Tilgate there. A deer came out in front of her. It's a lovely picture. That's work of art. That it's well framed. James, you're a photographer. What's your view on that? The positioning of that deer.
It's very nice. Yeah, I like it. It's a really nice photo. Great light. I like the sort of the lead-in line of the light sort of coming down the road. Very nice. Nicely framed. Beautiful.
You don't have to talk some nonsense today. You really do. That's great. Now here's some photos from Louise on her local walk, and some more birds, which I'm always thrilled to see. Lovely picture of a little goldcrest there that sat on the holly. But also she got a photograph of. Then it's always very exciting to see one of these. Of course, a firecrest. Very similar, both very very tiny little birds. But a nice little picture of a firecrest just staring at you. You can see its crest there. And another picture you can see on the side there. I'm not sure you can see it now. Maybe I'm in the way, but you can see the ID feature, of course, on the firecrest is that very white eyebrow above it there. Oh, there's a nice picture here by Teja Siddhi White. Now, last time I think I said his name wrong. I got a stern email from him. So hopefully, Teja Siddhi, I hope I got that right this time. I'm sure he'll be telling me shortly if I haven't. I love a picture of a firecrest there. Anyway, I love those little birds. Absolutely love them. And speaking of eyebrows, yesterday we had James did his winter thrushes talk to hundreds of people yesterday afternoon. So that went down very well, James. Thank you for that. We were saying about planting berries in your garden is a great way of attracting thrushes. And here's Sarah's photo taken out from a window of a redwing on the mountain ash outside, having a bit of food. And another lovely picture here from Graham Grimmett. He says, "Got to love birding from bed with a cup of tea first thing in the morning." That's my sort of birding from bed with a cup of tea. I'm not too sure what I see very much. I may see a jackdaw or something fly over, but that's probably I can see from my window. But a nice view from Graham's bedroom there. And other people on their local walks down here along the Horsham Riverside Walk. David had a great chance to photograph a kingfisher there. And a nice picture here from Keith. Lovely picture actually of kingfisher at Brooklands Park down at Worthing. So there's some nice surprises to see if you can just hopefully if you live near a river, live near a kingfisher, there's something to see. And Anne, who lives down in New Haven. It's a great picture here of a purple sandpiper. Now I love purple sandpipers. I suddenly realised I might put this talk together today. I haven't seen a purple sandpiper for years. When I used to live in Brighton, I'd go down to the marina and see them down on the arm of the marina there. But they're great birds. I must admit, they're not purple enough for me. It could do a little bit more purple, but it's always good to see them in the winter. So I think keep an eye out on your daily exercise and send in any photos you can see. Now, what about you guys? We've been away from. I know obviously the lockdown's only just started, but when there was a chance to get out and about, you see anything? I know Charlotte, you had a highlight a few days ago.
Yeah, I really wish I had some kind of evidence, because you're probably not going to. I almost didn't believe it myself, but I was out walking the dog first thing in the morning, just around the local area, the depths of suburbia, and I could see on a telegraph wire a little bit ahead of me what I thought was a snagged plastic bag or something, which was a bit strange. But as I got closer, this plastic bag moved, and it turned into a crow, which was actually hanging deliberately by its feet upside down off of this wire. Yeah. Oh, that's a bit bizarre. So it sort of dangled there and flapped about a bit, and then deliberately slid, because this wire was at an angle, and then just slid upside down still, and then flew off the wire. So completely bizarre. But I can, there we go. So maybe it is a thing that they do. I mean, they have been recorded sort of playing about in various scenarios and sort of sledding down snowy routes and things. So that must be the only explanation. It was entertaining itself on like a zip line, really.
Wow.
It's amazing. I mean, you know, they do it, as you say. And I think when I've read about it, so they're just doing it for a laugh, really. So which is fair enough. If I could fly around, I probably wouldn't zip down a zip line.
Yeah, I did loiter for it to see if it was going to go again, but no such luck.
Back up to the top for another go.
Yeah. And also, you mentioned about some skull you found.
Yeah, so went for a walk. It was a brilliant walk actually. To a new area, saw a hare, which was great in itself, but also found this amazing skull. Actually, I should say my dog Rory found this amazing skull, which was lying on the woodland floor, and it was looking not too dissimilar from that. I've cleaned it up a bit, but I think it had been lying there for quite a while. It was quite green from sort of algae and stuff from being a bit damp and wet. And I've got it here as well to give you an idea of scale. So so from the size of it and from the shape and everything. Well, I mean, does anyone want to say what they think it might be?
Well, I know what it is. So
Michael knows, so he can't cheat.
Is it one of those? Is it a deer?
Yeah, it is a deer.
Hold it up a little bit higher, Charlotte, just so we can see the size.
So it's a little bit deceptive, I think, because it seems bigger than it is, but it's sort of about 26, 27 centimeters long.
Okay.
And so by the size of it, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a fallow deer rather than a roe deer would be a bit smaller than that. Obviously, it would be a lot easier if it was a male because then you'd have the antlers potentially to go off. But this one's a female.
Are you collecting skulls now, Charlotte? Is it a new thing for you?
I have got a couple of skulls that I've sort of just found over the years or been given over the years.
Oh, right, yeah.
But I've not found that many, so it's quite exciting when I.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, it's got a bit grisly, but it's good. That's all right. It's always nice to have a new hobby for a new year, isn't it? I guess. James, you were out end of last year, and this was your highlight.
Yeah, this was one of a few. So I sort of stumbled upon this rough on my daily exercise, and which is quite nice. And you know, the rough is quite, I suppose it's quite unusual in that the males and the females actually have different names. So the males are the roughs and the females are known as reeves instead. And this one, there's actually quite a bit of sort of sexual dimorphism between the genders. So the males are quite a bit bigger than the females. So this one was probably a juvenile male because it was about the size of a redshank. And, you know, we're sort of on the breeding extent, really, of the Roughies range.
I've got a video here. I'll show you a video, James, before.
Put the video up as well, because the pictures...
I put it in your category of shaky videos of birds you don't usually get very close to.
Well, exactly. It is a shaky video. And I just want to say, this was on my phone as well, everybody. So this was another proud phone moment for me, to be honest with you. Was quite pleased with that. So, I mean, really, the rough here is probably known more as a sort of autumn passage migrant, but also as an overwinterer. So we probably have maybe, you know, 500 to 1,000 roughs overwintering in the UK every year. But what I was just going to lead on to this. What I would say, everybody, is don't confuse that winter plumage for the rough being a dull bird, because a male rough in breeding plumage, as you can see, is a magnificent thing. So they really do live up to their names. You know, they have this beautiful feathered ruff. And actually, as you can tell from these two, you know, the ruff might be black, it might be ginger, it might be white, or it might be kind of elements of those colours put together.
James, I've got a few more because just I put one picture up.
Have you got a video? Have you got a video of this at all?
No, I've got all these.
Look at that!
It's absolutely amazing, aren't they?
It's incredible, absolutely incredible. So I mean, it's such a shame now that, you know, we don't really have the rough here as a breeding bird.
Look at this last one, Joe. Look at this. Imagine you're sat at Rye Harbour and this walked past you.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, folks, I mean, can you believe the difference as well in the one that I filmed and obviously the breeding plumage? I mean, they are phenomenal. And not only do they look amazing, but of course, you know, on their breeding grounds, they actually undertake this communal dancing, you know, within a lek. And actually groups of males, they'll dance basically to try and attract the girls. And the dancing, you know, they might They might hop, or they might flap, or they might jump, or they might bow. They do all sorts of different things within the dance. So, you know, watching these roughs, you know, sort of lekking must be absolutely phenomenal. It's something I'd love to see. So yeah, they're a great bird. So obviously I was very, very pleased to be able to film that one on my phone. But yeah, seeing them on their breeding grounds is you know, even more incredible. So great birds. Yeah.
Sorry, so I clicked the wrong button. So I'm a bit troubling. I'm sat in the dark here. I need to sort the lighting out next time. Yeah, I put together, it's my highlight. I think that my highlight the last month or so. Actually, it goes back to just before Christmas, and I actually made this may or may not work. I've made a short film. It's about 4.5, 5 minutes long or something of a new section of the show called Michael Blanco Investigates. So I do have the world premiere of my latest film here. So hopefully this is going to work. So now I need to grab your popcorn first, of course. Grab some popcorn. Sit back. Now, wait a minute. Now this is where I get confused. I need to stop sharing this screen. Right. This probably all goes wrong now. So I'll stop sharing this, and then if I do this here and I go there, right, and I click that, all right, and then fingers crossed, Barry, yeah, and I share this. Is that sort of working, you think?
Yeah.
If I press play, I'll sit back in.
Throughout history, there have been sightings of strange creatures from all around the world. But recently, on the Sussex Wildlife Trust Nature Table Facebook page, there have been reports of a strange creature in the river not too far from my house. So today, I'm going to investigate. Well, it's a cold and foggy winter's day, and I'm going to venture out beyond the cul-de-sac. Okay, I'm just passing through this woodland now. Just going to get over this fallen tree. There we go. Oh, there we are. And there's lots of redwing are calling up in these trees. I can hear them whistling up there. There's plenty of redwing up there, but I'm not here looking for redwing, so I'm going to carry on through this mud. Whoop! Almost went over there. That would have been fun, wouldn't it? And then, this way, and head back down towards the river. Okay, well, I've made it down to the floodplain, and here's the River Ada. Now this area here is where the creature has been reported from. So I've got to keep my eyes open, and also keep my I've got my camera. I've got my camera in my pocket. I'm ready to get a picture, because if I do see this thing, it's not going to hang around to be photographed. So I've got to be ready. Okay, I'm going to head up this way. Well, there's no sign of any strange creatures yet, but there is a lovely goosander on the river here. Now, I've never seen a goosander down here before, so it's quite a nice little sight for me there. Over in the fields over to the right, you can hear some. Over in the flooded fields over here, you can hear some geese. There's grey lag geese, Canada geese, but also another unusual sight at the very back. Now, they're way too far to see them with my little camera here, but there's some white-fronted geese, and those guys have flown all the way down to Sussex, all the way from Russia. Now, I think I just saw something. Now, over there, Oh, you probably can't see it now. There were some ripples in the water. I can't even work out how to focus my camera, but just over there by that bush, on the water's edge, something just splashed in the water. So I'm gonna get a bit closer. I'm gonna use that bush as cover. I'm gonna get a little bit closer and see what it was. Okay, I'm going to use this bush by the river as cover, because I've got a feeling that the creature is on the bank, just on the other side of the river. So I've got my camera ready. Let's see if I can get any photos. I'll just come around the edge of this, around the edge of this bush. Wow, that was amazing. I can't believe it. A common seal right here, not too far from my house. Now he's just dived into the river, so I'm going to just see if I can get a film of him when he comes back up. Common seals are more commonly seen out at sea, but the sea is about 5 miles down that way. So this seal has swam up the River Ada. It's been here for a few months. It's probably followed some fish into the river and has found there's enough fish here to keep it happy. But that was brilliant. Amazing to think there's a big mammal just swimming around in the river so far inland, not far from my house.
Well, there you go. That's all right, wasn't it? It was great. It was. It's not going to win any Oscars, I don't think. But let's get back onto the slideshow a minute. Here we are. Yeah, it was all right. But yeah, the seal. It's not too far from. It's just down here. Not too far from where I live. Just down the River Ada there. So yeah, it's amazing what you can see. Amazing what you can see not far from your house. Speaking of filming mammals, Barry, what was your highlight of the last few?
Well, my Christmas highlight was also an aquatic mammal, one that I've seen very few times alive in my life, and I have a very distinct memory from about 50 years ago of I was out cycling and looked over a bridge over a little river, and I looked down and there was a little water shrew swimming around quite happily, and it's very, very vivid in my mind. So with my new trail camera skills, I thought I would try and capture some video of one. We know they live on the reserve, but we don't have very many records. So have you got the video?
I do, yeah. I'm just trying to work out what button to press. Here we are. Okay, Barry, here we go.
There we go. So I've got two little locations where we've been seen. This one's on a little rock, and you can see they're very dark above and then white below. And they're quite a large shrew, which is hard to tell from this video, but they're just fantastic little animals living at very, very high speed. This one's on a little raft. So that was so quick that I've now slowed it down so you can see it come out. So that's on a water vole latrine. And that's all the bits of debris that the water vole's left. And the shrew is hunting there for prawns. So I'm hoping to find his little stash of prawns one day, and I'll bring the video of that in a month or so.
Yeah, what do you mean by prawns? So is a prawn like the real prawns?
They're brackish water prawns.
Oh,
they're
okay.
probably about the length of that water shrew's tail.
Yeah.
And these saline ditches are teeming with them.
Okay, all right. I never heard of that. I thought you put some king prawn down there, Barry, to try and lure the thing in or something. But wow, that's amazing. It's great that I've seen them dead, water shrews. I've seen quite a few of them dead, sadly, but I've never seen them alive like that. So that's brilliant.
Yeah, so in colour, they would be very black above and very white below. But on the video, because it's infrared at night, it just shows up a little bit darker, but it does appear to have quite a sheen on it. But yeah, hopefully they'll be active during some daylight when we get some longer days.
Brilliant. Now, speaking of trail camera footage, on the Nature Table Facebook page, there's been some great photos by Daryl Peters. So I've been admiring Daryl's photographs from his back garden. I thought perhaps we'll try and get him into on the show. Now, I'm testing my my skills this time around. So if you bear with me a second, I just to go over here. Now, hopefully, I can magic Daryl up. But I can't do anything. I need my glasses. I need some more light. 1 second. You talk amongst yourself a second. I'm just going to try and see the keyboard. Right. If I do this, there he is. I click there, and I do that. Now, hopefully, Daryl should be joining us. I'll be amazed. I'll be thrilled if he does. Wait a minute. Look at this. Look, I've still got it. Look at that. Hi, Daryl. You're on mute there a minute.
Hello.
There he is. How are you? All right. Thank you for coming in. I said coming in. You just haven't done it. You sat there and just clicked a few buttons. But thank you for joining us on the Nature Table. Now,
No worries.
now you put some amazing photos up of the past few weeks, and I've got some here. So, firstly, whereabouts are you? You're down by the coast, aren't you?
Yes, I'm North Worthing, so I'm just kind of just at the South Downs.
Okay, and is it sort of suburbia down there?
Yeah, it's suburban. So we're literally on the periphery of Worthing.
Brilliant. Now, sorry, this thing's not moving. I'm just trying to. I know, click on that. There's something wrong with this. Now look at these, some great pictures. Now, so how long? So tell me about how you got into this sort of the nocturnal photography. How did you sort of get into it?
It started. Well, I've kind of done quite a bit of normal camera trapping over the last probably about 2 to 3 years. So
Right.
kind of using the same technology as Barry's got.
So one of these sort of things, yeah.
That's it. That's
One
it.
of those, yeah. Okay, I'll go on there. Let's snap. All right.
So I've used quite a few of those over the years, and they've been really good, and some really good captures on those. And the good thing about those is they do video as well, which is great. But then last year, obviously with lockdown, kind of being more restricted to home, I kind of started to dabble in camera trapping, but using DSLR cameras. So kind of
those, right.
normal point and shoot cameras. And the great thing about those is that you get that the image quality is so much better. And also for me, I spent quite a bit of time in a hide in the garden trying to take photos overnight for foxes and badgers. And this way is much more comfortable. I can sit inside, watch TV, and the camera does all the work for me.
So look at these amazing pictures. So I mean, it's been triggered. It's like it's a bit like the old trail camera. So that you're not sat there taking the photos yourself. It's just triggering.
That's it. It's all the same technology. Our sensor, and that triggers the camera itself. It's kind of a supercharged version of the trail cameras, really.
Right. Okay. And isn't just
a little bit more
sorry.
Just
I was going to say it's not just foxes you have down there, is it? You have I've got your fox photos, but you've also got this chap as well coming in.
I've got 5 regular foxes visiting,
Right.
and definitely got 2 different badgers.
Brilliant. That's incredible. So, what about the sort of lighting? So, how do you do that? How do you get the lighting sorted out? That's
So the lighting's been the hardest part for me to get my head round. So flash guns,
Okay.
which is that's the main difference between, realistically speaking, between type of camera trapping and like the little boxes strapped to the trees. So the problem with that is it is white flashlight. So it flashes white, so it is a little bit more visible, which I've now worked out how to make that less visible to my neighbours and also less intrusive to the animals visiting the garden. So I do a lot lower power flashes, and I also use snoods as well, just to try and restrict and focus the light more.
Brilliant. So I've been looking over your photos. I saw you got your foxes and you got your badgers, and then I saw this picture here, which I thought you'd obviously got nothing. But then if you look at it closely, you're just about to see the very middle there, a little wood mouse, the middle of Daryl's picture there. So now did that trigger the camera?
Yeah, that was. I had a couple of nights where I had somewhere in the region of 250 photos with what appeared to be nothing in them,
Right.
and a very fast wood mouse that kept tripping the camera and disappeared before the actual before it was captured. And I think I needed about 5 out of those 250 where the mouse was captured, and one of them was like the tail, just at the bottom poking up like that, which was it's hysterical.
Brilliant. So are the cameras out there tonight? You got them around tonight?
I haven't tonight. They're not on tonight at the moment. Purely simply because the last couple of nights I've not had any visitors. So I've decided on it this evening. But I'm going to try and change the setup a little bit for the weekend. And I'm going to try something a little bit different to see what I can get out of it.
Okay, well, brilliant. Well, some great photos. Thank you for sharing those on the nature table. Now, I thought I'd just bring Charlotte in here because I've got a few questions, Charlotte, about foxes. I know Daryl's got a question as well. Now, Charlotte runs our wild call service, so you can drop her an email or phone her up for any questions about wildlife in the county. Another photo of Daryl's here, taken in the daytime, but at this time of year, foxes are really active. Now, I certainly heard the other night, I heard this noise. Now, just I'm going to play a female fox, I think, screaming, but I better warn you because it is quite a scary noise. If you're just sat at home, if you're dozing off now, and I play this really loud, it may wake you up. So hopefully you can hear this. So that's pretty blood curdling, I'd say, and it's certainly a noise you hear in the middle of winter. I'd always think if you didn't know what that was, you're walking through a woods in the middle of winter at night, you heard that, it'd be terrifying, frankly. So what's going on, Charlotte? What are they doing this time of year?
Yeah, I mean, even when you do know what it is, if you suddenly get surprised by that sound, it definitely startles you. But basically, we're kind of at the height of the fox breeding season at the moment. Winter is a really busy time for foxes. And so all this kind of shrieking and shouting is females sort of making the really high-pitched, long shrieks to try and attract a male. And then there's a lot of males kind of shouting at each other and barking at each other in competition for the females, essentially. So yeah, it's all about finding a mate. So you'll definitely hear foxes at the moment, and you will also smell foxes at the moment, and that's also linked to their kind of communication. So their sense of smell is incredibly sensitive. So I mean, fox smell stinks to the human nose, so you can imagine how complex that kind of pungent smell is to the fox's really sensitive nose. So they're kind of surrounding themselves with all these pheromones, like a kind of cloud of perfume, to advertise who they are and their breeding status, and putting lots of that kind of scent marking all around their territory.
So a busy time for the foxes. Yeah, I know Daryl said to me earlier on. He said, "Yeah, this, he isn't seeing them so much because they're quite busy doing other things at the moment." But not too sure you want to capture all that on camera. But now I know Daryl, you've got a question for Charlotte.
Well, I was just going to say, not long ago, I was sent a video specifically of foxes mating, or offered a video of foxes mating, and I should have accepted the offer because we might have been able to screen a little clip of that. But
it's a family show here, but we could
exactly. So that's what I said to the person. Might be a bit risque for our audience, but yeah.
Yes. Sorry. So Daryl, what's your question for Charlotte?
My question is, and I've learned my lesson now, I have to say, but I've had a few times where I've been very silly and left my shoes on the porch and my slippers on the porch, and I kind of wanted to know why they always tend to scent mark the left slipper or shoe, never the right.
I mean, personal preference. If the left shoe is maybe always slightly higher than the right shoe, they like to get high up to scent mark. So maybe it's that, but who knows? Maybe once they've marked it once, they want to keep marking it to kind of reinforce that scent. But yeah, I mean, you're lucky it's still there. Often they sort of steal it completely and it disappears and ends up in someone else's garden as a bit of a mystery gift for them. So we've had a few dog toys and balls and things appearing in the garden from the foxes. So yeah, who knows?
So Daryl, so I mean, it's obviously that the foxes are scent marking, so they're spraying in your left slipper, not the right slipper, always in the left slipper. But my question for you is, what do you do with your slippers now? You throw them out? I mean, they must stink.
I've become a little bit accustomed to the smell, to be honest. I wash my trainers, so they've been well and truly washed and bicarbonate of soda and lots of other things to try and get rid of the smell, and it's slowly dissipated. And the slippers, I'm just like, oh well, I only use them to wander around the garden. I can live with it.
When you go for a walk, are you sort of followed by a trail of sort of foxes behind you? Is that what happens?
Yet.
Right. Well, thank you, Daryl. Daryl's also done a little interview for the Wildlife Trust. It'll be on our homepage the next few days. So thank you for that, Daryl. He's got some information there about how he uses this setup. So, but thank you for these great photos. Thank you for coming in this evening. I'm going to demote you now.
Thank you.
If I can, to that's the right word. Back to do this. I click on this and I do that. So good to see you, Daryl. Take care. Stay safe, and I'll
Thank you.
we'll see you soon. Thank you for that. I like this. I'm getting good at this. I'm getting better. Remember the first time I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Now I'm getting pretty good. I'm pretty flash now. Saying that, I can't find why is this thing not working? Anyway, there, lovely photo of Daryl's there. Just to fantastic, beautiful looking animal. Now I just thought we use this a few minutes to promote what's coming up. Just we've got plenty of webinars, as I say, coming up in the next few weeks. Now James did a talk yesterday on thrushes, but we're going back next Tuesday for his epic adventure across the Sahara. Now we can't go anywhere, but James is going to take us on a long journey through Africa. So just to remind us of the days when we used to be able to go on holiday and travel. So so it's in two parts, James. Yeah, is that right?
It is in two parts. Yeah. And just like you said, Michael, I thought we'd get everybody warmed up a little bit in the middle of winter. I thought it would be a nice way to to get everybody feeling a little bit more summery. So
yeah, that'd be good.
There we go.
That'd be good. Now we also got that. Now then you're back again on the 21st of January in the afternoon. Now you've done this talk before. This is your epic winter birds talk, which was very popular last time. So we'll have James back doing that, and then Barry's doing his talk at the end of January. So now Barry, I've got to say, Barry, this talk is almost fully booked. So very popular.
Well, it's a very catchy title.
Yeah, it's fair enough. So that's going to be looking through the whole year, all the wildlife.
Yeah, be looking from winter through to winter in a typical year, looking at some of the highlights of the natural world here.
Okay, I just now also, so I'm trying to do two things at once here. 1 minute. So I'll do this. All right, do that. So I'm just bear with me. Okay, look, clicking on the right buttons. Then also we have a special members only talk coming up in February, which is going to be by our colleague Glenn Norris, who's the ecologist for the Wildlife Trust. He'll be talking about his year last year and some of the incredible things he saw on our nature reserves. Now I know we've all seen this talk because Glenn gave this talk to the staff meeting at Christmas, and it was fantastic. So we've made sure we've got Glenn to come and join us. And then next Thursday evening we have Dr. Sarah Mackenzie, who'll be talking about the wildlife of dung. Now this is the best talk we've put on, I'm sure. This is what I've been waiting for since September, and luckily, thanks to my technological knowledge, we have Dr. Sarah Mackenzie joining us. Hello, Sarah.
Hi, Michael. How are you?
Not too bad. I can see you floating around in the clouds there. So I just want to bring you, because I'm really excited about this. So I just wanted to so firstly, thank you for doing a talk for us. But also, so what are you going to be talking about? You've got an hour's worth or 45 minutes worth of dung. So what can we expect?
Well, we're going to start with different kinds of dung, and particularly looking at cattle, so cow dung, cow poo, And then we're going to move on to elephant droppings. And we're going to explore how dung beetles actually get rid of elephant droppings in remarkable speed. Then we're going to move on to research that's been carried out at Knepp Estate, where there's all sorts of different kinds of dung beetles there. Then we're going to have a look at the fungi that colonizes dung, just like that, but there's all sorts of weird and wonderful things there. So there's a whole host of different aspects of dung, but particularly I'm going to draw people's attention to the intestines of the different animals, why the dung is the shape it is, and you know, the role of the wildlife that decomposes it.
Well, I was pretty hooked from the start. I can't wait now. In dung and intestines, it's like this. It's like my dreams come true. So I mean, this. I mean, I know you're a great ecologist and naturalist, Sarah, but is this is this a specialism of yours?
Well, not a specialism. It's just I got hooked. Chris Packham is always getting really excited about dung, and he interviewed a guy called Richard Jones, and this is the book. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, just about, yeah. You keep going in and out of the clouds there, but
yeah. Well, I'll show. I'll talk about this book in my talk. And when this guy had finished talking about dung beetles, I was completely hooked, and so that's really why I'm doing the talk.
Brilliant. All right. Well, that's great. So that's next Thursday evening. So a week today. Is it Thursday? I've no idea what day it is anymore.
Yes, it's next Thursday. Next Thursday, 7:30.
Okay, brilliant. So next Thursday, you can book after that. That'd be fantastic. So I just thought, as we've got Sarah here, I thought we'd do a animal dropping ID quiz. Now, it isn't. You can all take part at home. I was trying to think of a good name for the quiz for this part of the show. So I thought of have I got poos for you? I thought it could be one. Top of the props, bits and feces, going through the motions. So it's quite good. And Emma, my friend Emma, put in a poo done it thing. So I was never actually wasn't actually too sure. So before we go any further, the first part of the quiz is let's have a look. If I stop that, what do you think? What do you think the quiz should be called out of those titles? What do you think is the best name for this this part of the show? So, okay, people are voting. People are voting. All right. Well, look, it's there's no clear winner yet. Oh, there's a neck and neck. Right. Well, we're gonna end the polling there. Wait a minute. It's so close, but have I got poos for you? Has won it. Okay, that's fair enough. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you a picture of a poo, and you guys tell me a poo done it or what animal it came from. So there's your first one there. Now, if I can, I'll tell you what, I'm on fire tonight with all these polls. Look at this. Look, I stop that. Then I do this. Okay, now. Right now, what animal is that? That should come on your screen now. That's I'm asking you, is that a badger, a hedgehog, a fox, or is it an ichthyosaur? Who knows? Okay. Oh, again, let's put a little bit neck and neck. Okay. Well, look, let's see what we got for the. Most people have gone for fox on that one. 46% of people fox. Any comments, Sarah, Charlotte? What do you think that one is?
I think that's a hedgehog.
Okay, let's now if I close this a minute, if I go down here, all right, hedgehog. You're right, yeah. So now I've got here, Charlotte, Sarah. Sorry, the hedgehogs a bit quite long, and they might be filled with sort of bits of insect and worms.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so that's quite a lengthy one. Right now, the next poo. Let's bring on to tonight's next. The next, and this one here, this is a good one. Now, if you were watching my, you watched my diary last, my lockdown diary, you know this one. So I'm going to wait a minute. I should have shared that. That's the last one. Wait a minute. I was getting a bit clever. Right. End that. I blame Zoom for being. Here we are. Okay. Now this This one. All right. Now, that white, long white poo there, is it a green woodpecker, a stoat, a moorhen, or a bearded vulture? Okay, looks like we got a clear winner this time round. Okay, people are still voting, but I can't believe there's like 170 people at home voting on different poos. Fantastic. Oh, but saying that, it's all gone a bit. And look at this now. Now, green woodpecker just wins. But James, would you agree with that one?
I certainly would. Green woodpecker, yeah.
Yeah, let's have a look at. So I'll stop that. Then go over here. Why's that thing keep coming up? Indeed, green woodpecker. Now, yeah, I love green woodpecker poo because if you cut it open, it's full of little tiny ants. It's totally made of ants. So absolutely fantastic. Right now, the next poo's next. Let's have a look. Right, now this is a tricky one. Okay, now it's kind of dug in there's a little hole there. Now let's. Oh, wait a minute! I pressed the wrong button.
Oh,
Oh,
Disaster.
ruined it.
Yeah, I ruined it. It was a badger. We all knew that anyway. Now,
You really need smelly vision.
yeah, that could be the next. That could be the next one, Barry. I think. Yeah, that'd be the next one. When's the technology coming for that? Yeah, so badgers use shallow pits called latrines. So if you see that, if you see a little shallow pit and full of poo, the chances are, hopefully, it's a badger and not some campers nearby. I hope it's not James camping nearby. Now, the next one. Right, now here's a little story for you. And this is me. I need some background information here for this. I was traveling through Spain, so in northern Spain, and I saw these poos on the side of the road. Now, okay, now Charlotte's having a little look. She's having a look. Then I went over a little sniff, and it was they smelled actually early. This was early in the spring. They smelled like quite grassy. It was like new mown, freshly cut grass. Now, I then was in Sweden in the autumn, and I saw some more by the side of the road. So I was straight over again, of course, for a little sniff. And this time in the autumn, very different smell. They smell of full of look at that, absolutely full of berries, If I had a spoon and some cream, that'd have been lovely. Look at that, absolutely lovely. A lot of vitamins there. So that's most of your 5 a day in there, I reckon. So the question is, what animal is doing that on there? So I come down here, I do that. Okay, I won't show the answer this time. There we are. Now, whose poo was that? Is it a moose, a wolverine, a reindeer, or is it a brown bear? There are people sat at home now, eagerly voting on the poos. But again, I think we got a clear winner. Oh, a few Wolverine fans out there. But yeah, if we end that, it was indeed a brown bear. Now, I spent a lot of time looking for brown bears in Spain and in Scandinavia. Never saw them. I saw plenty of poo. I always thought they did it in the woods, but they do it by the side of the road as well, it seems. So there we are. Look at that. I'm feeling hungry now looking at that. Make me peckish. Brown bear indeed. So there we are. So if you want to know more about poo, I'm sure many of you do. There's a lot of people very keen to get involved in the quiz. So if you join Sarah next Thursday, Sarah, we'll see you next Thursday at 7:30. You can register for Sarah's talk at the end of tonight's webinar. So thank you, Sarah. I'll see you. I'll be there next Thursday. So
Okay.
look forward to that. And in the meantime, you might as well just stay on, because by the time
I will.
Just stay on. You stay there in the clouds. By the time I find the button, it'll. Now, Barry mentioned we had 1 day of winter so far. A few days ago, it got really frosty, didn't it? Really frosty. And Emma, on her, she lives near the South Downs. On her daily walk, got some incredible pictures of that lovely frost, the freezing fog up there on the South Downs. It's lovely photos. Not sure what the forecast is, but maybe there's some more on the way. Little house sparrow there, brilliant. And there's Wendy. Wendy said she had pied wagtails in her garden, and only when it gets really cold do the birds come into the garden. Which then reminded me, of course, that I just wonder what was going on with the waxwing forecast. So this part of the webinar, we always hand over to James to see see what's going on. James, what's the latest? Any waxwings been seen since we've been away?
Not as far as I'm aware. No. I think no is the answer.
Oh, fair enough.
I think they're in Norfolk and further north. To be honest, they all seem to be centred around Scotland still.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So they haven't. We've been put in we have a waxwing warning, which is based on the UK terror threat, and it was. We had it on at one point. It got as far as substantial. Remember that? They got as far as Kent.
Yeah, we had a week of substantial, and then it quickly waned back to moderate again, didn't it?
Yeah, and to be honest, it's heading towards low. But if it turns a bit colder, it may push some more this way. So
it might do. I mean, I suppose the only good thing is, I mean, obviously we can't really go out very far, but as you stand a reasonable chance of seeing one in your supermarket car park, at least we can all still go to the supermarket. So technically, you still have a chance of seeing a waxwing.
It's an essential journey, I guess. And if you can combine that with seeing a waxwing, that's not bad. Not bad. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep an eye on the weather, James. Keep an eye on the waxwings, and hopefully when we come back for the next Nature Table Live, we'll be inundated with them. Yeah, okay. It was substantial at one point. Those were the days, weren't they? I was getting excited then. Getting excited. Okay, well that's this week's webinar. Thank you all for listening. Hope it's inspired and uplifted you, and hope you've enjoyed all the poo action as well. We'll try and put a few more. We'll have an ichthyosaur special and a poo special perhaps coming up. But we got, of course, Sarah next week to look forward to, and plenty of other webinars coming up to distract you from the rather bleak times outside. So plenty going on in January. I've been sat around today planning February's webinars as well. We've got loads of exciting things in February. Hopefully one day we won't have to do this anymore, and we can actually take you on a walk on our nature reserves. I can actually meet some of you. That'd be nice. So we're back on February the 4th. It won't be an ichthyosaur special, not yet. One day we'll do an ichthyosaur special. We'll be back in a few weeks' time, 2-3 weeks' time. So in the meantime, if you have enjoyed this evening's talk, this evening's presentation, we say it'd be great if you could make a donation. Or also, perhaps if you want to join the Wildlife Trust, if you're not a member of the Wildlife Trust, firstly, why not? And secondly, why not treat yourself and join the Wildlife Trust? We'd certainly appreciate having you on board this year. Maybe this year could be the year you join up. Make that your New Year's resolution. So in a minute, when I press stop, I think this works. When I press stop, you should find on your browser, you get taken to a screen which has some more information about Charlotte's Wild Call. There's a link to James's recent, back in the autumn, he did a walk around Woods Mill. You can join James for a virtual walk around the nature reserve. And there's links to Nature Table Live. You can book all our webinars there. And also there'll be some links to donate or join the Wildlife Trust. Now, if you don't get taken there because my inept technological skills haven't worked, then if you go to the Wildlife Trust main page, you click on the hare's ears, it'll take you back to that page. So thank you again for joining us. Hope you're all healthy out there. Hope you're all doing okay. I would say Happy New Year, but the word happy seems a bit ambitious at the minute. So perhaps we'll just say, hope you all have a healthy New Year, and we'll see you at another webinar soon, and hopefully we'll see you out in the sunshine when things are brighter. So until next time, I'm going to press end, or press stop share, and give them a wave, folks. Give them a wave, and we'll see you all soon. Take care.